Hey, I come back with an old favorite. Fight and Rage got a random, pretty substantial update last week. I have had problems capturing this. I haven't really played this game since I got my new PC build back earlier in the summer. So I spent a bunch of time troubleshooting with a developer over Twitter, and I couldn't find what was wrong, which is why I'm getting to this now. However, I did find the issue. It was a problem with the way that XSplit actually hooks onto games. So, now that I got down to the bottom of that, I thought I would go over what's been changed. So, he added a survival mode. Let me see where I can find it here. Here it is. It's basically like a Bloody Palace, but like, you know, in a beat 'em up mode, which I think is pretty cool. Like, it actually, it's very challenging. It's fun to play. One of the biggest complaints with this game when it came out was not so much the difficulty. The difficulty in this game is very much designed in a way where you get better with your own personal skills. You don't level up your character or grind out a gear or anything like that. It's very much, you know, learning how to play the game, how the enemies work, how to keep them in hit stun and control where they are and things like that. But one of the problems was that the campaign, like a regular playthrough, is about an hour long. That's if you once you see it. If you're not good at the game, or you take one of the longer paths, or you die a bunch of times, the game can be significantly longer. And that was one of the problems, is people like the pixel art, they liked the controls and the combat and how responsive everything was, but there wasn't really a way to play the game for a short burst of time without having to commit to the campaign. So he's actually fixed that quite a bit in the subsequent updates. You have the time attack mode, score attack, and now survival. So there's also costumes corresponding with the new modes as well. I've only played it a couple times because the game has been all screwed up on my end until I figured out what was wrong with XSplit, but we'll go ahead and do a run now. Go ahead and change my controls really quick. I think they're messed up. There we go. It should be mentioned that this game has like the best controller support. Like he basically he advertised that you can play this with basically any controller, and you actually can. You know, you can play it with an old direct input like PS2 controller just fine. There's plenty of other big budget games where it's a hassle to get anything but an Xbox controller running. So it's very nice that he has that feature. So I am quite a bit rusty at this game. I actually am going to be submitting this to Calathon within the week actually. So I thought I would do a little bit of practice here. Pretty standard fare. The enemies spawn and you get a little bit of a health refill. I think it's 50% each time you clear a map. I've lost all my parry timings. surprised I can even still do that. Honestly, somehow I still have the muscle memory for it. I was watching someone from Brawlers Avenue. He runs a pretty cool site and channel on just beat 'em ups in general. He does a lot of Streets of Rage and Fight and Rage stuff. He plays this game quite regularly. I haven't played it in a long time, so I felt a little better that he was struggling with it too. But this game has never really, in general, has never really handed you anything on a silver platter. You've always had to really work for it. It's a shame that he can't get this on the Switch, because now I think this game is, it's a lot more suitable for a portable setting, now that it has all these extra modes and things that you can unlock that allow you to play for a couple minutes at a time instead of having to commit to an hour-long campaign. I do wish that maybe he would kind of implement some more paths in the campaign that would maybe skip some of the longer parts. I think ideally being able to skip the raft level and get to the end of the game quicker, along with being able to skip Death Island, will definitely add a little bit more diversity to the paths, because you always had to go through Death Island every single time you play the game, which is one of the longest levels in the game, also one of the most difficult ones. It would be cool if maybe he could use the existing assets and maybe add some more shortcuts or something, but for now, if the long campaign really you know, kind of deters you from playing this game, you should definitely check it out now if you haven't booted it up in a while. He's got a significant amount of modes to really help kind of, you know, just let you play it for a couple minutes and not really have to have a long commitment to anything. I'm actually going to go ahead and try again, because I've gotten a lot farther than that before. Still not very good at using her her recent special move that was added. Forget about his targeting. Anyway, there's actually some other changes I should show. I haven't played this in long enough to really be doing attempts on this right now. So he also added the ability to play in turbo speed or the fast speed in pretty much every mode, even in training. That was definitely one of the problems. I think that's one of the things that discouraged a lot of people from playing on turbo mode, is there was no easy way to train. He actually has fixed that now. So you can use it in pretty much everything. I know for a fact I had to practice a lot in the just the basic campaign to learn the muscle memory for turbo mode. I'm surprised I still have it, but it hasn't really been that long. It's only been like 6 or 7 months since I played this. Overall, this is a pretty good update. If you didn't like playing through the campaign, I mean, that's definitely one of the reasons why I kind of stopped playing this game, is because the campaign is it's long, and one of the disappointing things about this game is that the paths don't really make that much of a difference, because the last quarter of the game is always identical. You're always going to end up on the raft and on Death Island, and you can't really change anything about that. So it does get a little bit overwhelming. The raft in particular, a lot of people really dislike that part of the game. The paths that actually do avoid the raft are actually longer. So it's nice that he's added more of a kind of a portable, you know, bite-sized experience to the game. Hopefully he'll be able to figure things out and get the game on Switch eventually. Right now, he said it is not something that's possible. But if you do have the game and you just want to play it for a few minutes, kind of like what most DMC players do with the Bloody Palace, you know, they just play through the first 20 floors and then turn it off. You definitely have that experience in a number of ways now. Now, score tech can be kind of stressful because you have to play it in a specific way. You have to get the crush bonus on pretty much every enemy to get a decent score. I heard he made it harder ever since I got S rank with Gal. So that wasn't really much of a solution. The time attack is actually really difficult as well. The survival mode is short enough that you can just kind of play it. So I definitely think it's a welcome addition to the game. If I do get this game into Calathon, I will be playing it more again, since I will need to practice. This game is pretty marathon safe. I could see myself probably dying on either Death Island or the final level, but the game is pretty generous with checkpoints as long as you're not playing on the harder difficulties. So stay tuned for that. I will hear about that probably before the end of the year, I assume, so I'll let you guys know as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Peace.